And there you go, dancing to the music again.
Dance time, buddies. Good afternoon. This is Art Takes with John, and at the control board, Art had a bad decision.
And the reason that John looks so manic is, number one, that's his normal look. And number two, he's got some authority now. And as always, you cannot fix stupid, but ignorance is a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, go for ignorance. We got to maintain ignorance, because otherwise everybody's going to forget about it. And see, I'm wearing my politically correct shirt because it upsets me.
Offends you.
Yeah, well, that's all right. There's a lot of
Something
things
is.
about you that offend me, John, so we'll just keep going.
Well, okay, well then keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to open my mail.
Oh, please, let's discuss this, yes. You don't have to go back and... Oh, there you go.
There we go. So anyway,
OJT.
I got this thing. It says Premium Hearing Solutions.
Well, now be careful. You don't want...
premium.
You're not advertising for them.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's somebody wants to give me a hearing aid, okay? And they say we're gonna make Medicare pay for it, just like Trump was gonna make Mexico pay for the wall. And anyways, they made one fatal assumption. They think I want to hear what people are saying. If I really can't hear, then I can just ignore them. I
John.
don't have to listen.
John, I guess you didn't find out about Bose putting out a new sound-canceling headset that you can particularly adjust to your wife's voice.
I haven't heard that one.
Ooh.
I just figured that was one of those things that
I bought as much of their stock as I could.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad my wife doesn't watch the show.
Hell, heck, John, nobody watches the show. Don't be silly.
Hey, there's 17 supporters. Come on.
Athletic?
Probably half of them. Anyway.
No, I said athletic,
I know. I said probably half of them.
like in Greece. Anyway, Stuart, you look like you're kind of chomping at the bit. You're not? Okay, then I'll go.
Well, do one, then I'll do mine.
All right. There are so many stupid things. I mean, it just amazes. You know, I came to the conclusion that if you wanted to do something really different, you could just put your initials as YB. That way, when everybody says YB, you'd say what? Normal? YB stupid? YB? YB average? Anyhow.
Where did you get that brain? Abby.
In Castine, Maine, an environmental advocacy group is looking for volunteers to collect data about smelts. The only data I want is where's the butter, where's the salt, and where's the pepper. I love smelts. They are the most delicious little things.
And a cold beer.
Oh, beer can be warm. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Oh. Baltimore, Maryland. Now, you talk about, what's the word I want? Like military intelligence, an oxymoron. This is like a corollary to that. Prosecutors offered a plea deal 4 months ago to the man whose murder conviction has been chronicled in a hit podcast, Serial, which is on a competing station. Adnan Syed rejected the plea deal since he'd have to admit to Hai Min Lee's murder. So if you admit to murder, you can get out of jail, but if you maintain your innocence, they're keeping you in.
That's typical.
It's I mean, that's government speak, you know. Jumbo shrimp, military intelligence.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I'm going to segue out of your military intelligence here. We all know that the 50th anniversary of the moon landing is coming up. You know, it could be next month, whatever, 50th anniversary. So a lot of little odd facts are coming out that usually, you know, as things go on, these little things seep out and everything else.
Sure.
Well, you know, we found out that the moon landing was supposed to be faked. All right, that was the whole concept in the beginning.
And our stupid government went ahead and did it for real.
Well, the biggest problem was Stanley Kubrick was such a finicky producer, he wanted to do it on location.
Oh, that's awful. That's just. I was actually in Thailand when that happened, and most of the Siamese people believe that the moon is where heaven was, and a lot of them just couldn't understand why, if they really did land on the moon, Why didn't they run into their dead relatives?
Wow. But really, the moon landing was supposed to be faked in the beginning?
That was just a joke from whatever. It was,
I just
they're saying they pulled Stanley Kubrick's diary and it was like, oh, it was because he's the one that keeps saying he faked it because of what Capricorn 1, I think it was, or some movie he did.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so
Well, you know, the thing about the moon landing, hey, it worked for me. The lady showed me how to do it, you know. Women
I
always...
figure if she slapped you upside the head enough times, you'd get it.
Women always have to show men what to do. Come on, don't you know, and that's why I can't really go for this trans woman thing, you know, because that's still a man and he's still as dumb as I am. So, you know, I need a real woman to tell me what to do. I need those 2 X chromosomes because, you know, you have 2 X's when you're in the womb. You learn from your mistakes. I mean, us men, we've only had 1 X. We figure we got 2 more strikes, so that's it. You know, whereas women, they got 2 strikes coming out of the womb, you know, and they're tough. But anyway,
they are still adjusting your medication, aren't they? Because I know you quit drinking.
Yeah. You're on, Art.
Okay, Omaha, Nebraska. What looks like a coffee shop at the University of Nebraska at Omaha is actually a laboratory of sorts for business students. Stedman's Cafe has operated for more than 3 years, providing part-time jobs for students and supervisory challenges and experience for some of them who've probably lived off their parents all their lives. Now, you notice it's called Stedman's Cafe. Now, what other famous person is named Stedman? Oprah's boyfriend. So that's what he probably does at his sideline.
Oh.
Well, now we're
thought about
talking. We're still on coffee shops. Switzerland announced that they are going to abolish the national emergency stockpile of coffee.
Oh, that's just wrong.
They've been doing this for a year. They've been stockpiling it for a year. The emergency reserve was established between World War I and World War II, as Switzerland prepared for any potential shortages in case of war, natural disasters, or epidemics.
I bet that's why they were never attacked. Nobody wanted to mess with that year-long supply of coffee.
Anyway.
Yeah, you could lose it.
The emergency one, yeah.
But they have decided that, this is what it gets me, they came to this conclusion, I got to find exactly what it was, but they've decided that it really coffee has no substantial, where is it at?
Anything you say negative about coffee, we're going to get an argument.
Oh, I know that. That's why I pulled this up. It's you know, coffee has no calories and subsequently does not contribute from a philosophical perspective to safeguarding nutrition.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Now,
I don't know about other people, but it certainly keeps me calmed down enough so that I don't run out shooting people.
It keeps me from hurting people the first 2 hours of the morning. Yes.
Exactly.
But the thing is, they're telling the companies they no longer have to reserve this. They're going to, save all this money, which of course they can pass their savings on to the consumers.
Yeah,
that'll
sure
happen.
They will.
Yeah,
pass
that'll
the
happen.
savings on to the CEOs and a bonus every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, John, that you mentioned the hearing earlier. I was just thinking that I used to get my hearing tested regularly, and it'll always come out very, very good. Because I knew, this funny thing, I knew how to time the little beeps. But what I find interesting, I hear everything that people say, but I don't always hear the exact words they say. And sometimes, some of the things that I hear are so funny, I'll be sitting in a closed room or at a funeral, and all of a sudden, I'll start laughing my head off because what I heard, it may be not what they said, but what I heard was really funny.
Yeah.
It could be the synapses in your brain going bad, but we won't go there.
Well, that's if I get low on the caffeine. The synapses slow down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't want slow synapses.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. If you're going to sin, you should do it fast. A fast synapse.
Well, sure. I mean, if you're going to sin, you do it fast and you run over and commit another sin. Get them all in there as fast as you can. Boom, shakalaka.
Well, I'll tell you, I did it just like she said, and this time it didn't work. Twice
You're
doesn't
being
work.
impatient.
I offered to bring my hammer for that because that
being
always
impatient.
works.
Just put your finger on it. Don't
Just once, John. Just
Oh,
20
it
seconds.
finally switched.
20 seconds.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't want to look at your ugly face.
Yeah, the camera's probably communicating to the software. But you were talking about the moon landing. Now, the government deals in half-truths all the time. Now, why do you think they called the moon landing the Apollo project? Apollo was the sun god, right? They didn't name it Moon Project or Lunar Project or Lunatic Project. They named it the Apollo Project because what they were supposed to do.
I thought you had Lunatic Project copyrighted for your stuff.
No, they did it before I was old enough to get that.
Oh, okay.
But the reason they did it is because the CIA
He's starting to slip a groove.
Here we go.
The CIA and the government wanted to see if the reasoning why there was a mass extinction event every, approximately 12,000 years is because they thought there might be some truth to the story that the sun does a super Carrington event or a mini nova, and they went on the moon and they looked at all these little things on the moon, and they were black glass with fission tracks in them. So while the glass was cooling, it was exposed to nuclear reactions, and they you can still see it on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't understand what that means, but if you speak well about certain political characters, you'll get banned. But anyway, so that's what it was, and that's why they call it the Apollo Project, because they were using the moon landing to see if there was any truth to that. And since then time, the U.S. government has made tens of thousands of miles of tunnels underneath the Earth. And that's why, remember a few years ago when everybody says, well, they're closing these Walmarts, and people thought they were having tunnels underneath them. Well, that Walmart didn't reopen again, but you forgot about it because you were paying attention to whether the Detroit Lions were ever going to win the Super Bowl. And on that, I got to stop.
John,
Yeah,
you
you really
give
gotta stop.
whole new meaning to the term rambling on incoherently. I just love the way you took so many random, distorted facts, twisted them even more, and somehow made them almost sound like they were sensical.
Yeah.
Not quite.
But you're half right. It was nonsensical, not sensical. And now it finally came back to you.
Well, you're doing that one on purpose. I know that. Next week, you're back to this side of the desk because you're being bad.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I got to say, years ago, there was a local DJ that said he didn't like Stevie Nicks because it sounded like a sheep bleating to him. Well, I've been a huge Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks fan. And I'm thinking, well, what's wrong with this moron, So anyway, one time, and again, I'm a dinosaur, I slip a cassette tape in, and it is stretched. So it would play it a little bit slower. And I hate to say it, but I heard a sheep going, bah. And it ruined things for about a week. It took a while for me to get over that. Had to go back and re-record everything, get it at the right speed. So, I tried to be a great deal more understanding, accepting, especially because I really don't like jail food.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what kind of incentives you need to get through the day sometimes.
Well, they give them cable TV in a lot of places now, and that ain't saying much.
But no HBO.
Wasn't Billy Joel? Who was the other guy? Not Bob Seger, another BS initial.
Bruce Springsteen?
Yes. He did that. He starts out doing a song called 57 Channels and Nothing's On. And then, I heard this in an interview. Then a couple years later, it had to be 87 channels and nothing on. Now it's 300 and some, and there still ain't nothing on.
417. I can't find something that interests me.
Yeah. Unless I pay more money out of pocket for something that used to be free, should be free.
And I gave up on there. I had to press, and just like the lady did it, she pressed and held for one, and then she released. And she didn't say a word last time I was talking, and it didn't work.
You know what? I think that's one of those empower things. Don't ask me how, but I just got a feeling that has something to do with female empowerment.
Oh,
just hold it for 3 seconds. It's like stopping at a stop sign, 1001, 1002, 1003, and go.
This is probably like Captain Marvel, from the Marvel Universe.
Oh, I got to hear this
Yeah,
segue.
this one should be good.
Yeah, how does that line up together there, John?
Well, the Captain Marvel thing winds up as, see, she had superpowers, and see, I just switched it back and
Twice.
forth again
And
by channeling Captain Marvel. When I was young, I was really blonde because now.
Well, now things are starting to make sense. He was a
And
blonde.
my hair now, I'm still blonde. But it's just there's a lot less hair because I'm a hair brain. All the hair grew into my brain, and that's why I'll never have Alzheimer's because I'm already halfway there. See.
Well, in here I was thinking that very, very, very pale, so pale as to be white and gray looking, I've always thought was called ash blonde. So it looks to me like
Yeah.
you just got an ash head.
Yeah, yeah. And if I was a big guy, I'd say, smile when you say that.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's come up. You usually come up with some really odd things, Stuart. And plus, you've been really quiet, so I don't trust people that are too quiet.
I got up very early this morning. It's been a long day already.
Anyway.
Yeah, you know me. I get up at the crack of noon. That's what I'm used to.
I'm well aware. That used to be one of my big fun things because I knew you'd never get up till noon on Sunday. So I used to call about 9:30 every Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, you got can I borrow such as that?
What is this? What do you want? Who died? Anyway, firefighters in the town of Whirl in western Germany tackled an unusual
town of what?
emergency. Firefighters.
No, the town of what?
Whirl. W-E-R-L. Whirl.
Oh, I thought you said it was the town of world, and I was thinking, well, there's a lot more than one town in the world.
Anyway. They had a local firm.
That's how my mind works. Not my fault.
Yep. Local firm making liquid chocolate overflowed over in Germany. Overflowed.
Oh, that's how you pronounce
Swedish.
it.
That's the
Swedish
Swedish
chef.
stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, it overflowed and poured out into the street. About a ton of chocolate ran out into the yard and from there onto the street. They closed off the street and shoveled the chocolate about 108 square feet of chocolate about 4 inches thick. So they should shove it to one side so they could clean up the street and go through.
Does that mean Toblerone's going to be on sale now?
Well, what they said actually, that despite the incident, it's unlikely that it's going to be a chocolate-free issue. There was a minor spill. You know, like those oil spills?
Oh, yeah,
a minor
very minor.
spill, yeah.
And
Very minor
I
spill.
love the flavor WD-40 shrimp has now, you know. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, WD-40, 40 weight. Be careful. Gonzo will get you. That's Gonzo's secret girlfriend.
Speaking of Gonzo, did you see the Muppet movie is going to be re-released this July? The original Muppet movie?
Well, of course it is, and of course it won't be free. You try to watch any of that. I get
No,
so...
they're actually it's going back to the theaters.
You missed my point.
No, you have one on top of your head. I see it.
Yeah, and I'm going to start wearing my tinfoil hat, too. The whole thing is, you're going back to cable TV. You try to watch something that's already been on. I mean, I'm looking at for fun because I enjoy old Bogart movies, and they want $5 to watch a movie that's 100 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I actually got hooked into I was clicking channels last night. Actually, Linda was clicking channels last night, and the original Vanishing Point was on.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Uncut.
Wow.
So hit the record button and watch it. And 2:30 this morning, we saw the Camaro crash. I mean, the Challenger crash into the.
That's another one that a lot of people like to talk about. It wasn't one of the best special effects.
For the time, it was a very good special effects, but people didn't realize that, people, you see the hood on the car, and then the hood that goes flying through is white. And other than that, it doesn't match anything.
Yeah. I mean, you see the taillights, for Pete's sake. The taillight. They could have hung a painted plywood board on the back, painted like a Challenger but no, it's a Camaro.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious because he hits it and the hood goes flying. And the original one, they got the scoops on it. There ain't no scoops on that. Yeah, it kind of looks like a Camaro hood going flying, but it is white.
Yeah, like in Ben-Hur, in one scene, one of the guards got a watch on his and a hand holding a spear. In another scene, there's a jet going overhead.
Oh, wow.
To my knowledge, there weren't a lot of jet airliners in Egypt.
No, they did. Yeah, really. I think they only had turboprops.
You're probably right.
From Atlantis.
Well, either that or they had the galley slaves rowing as fast as they could.
Well, according to
God,
some,
it's way too easy to make you laugh sometimes, John. That was a bad joke.
according to some ancient astronomers, whatever, ancient alien astronomers, they had flight stuff.
Well, you know, there's no reason to not believe some of these things because when you look, as I think I saw the same thing, the little
Airplane, yeah.
the airplane amulet, it's got everything. They actually built one for fun. It flew just fine. It looks like a present-day jet fighter, I think one of the Israeli ones. And really, if you think about it, it doesn't take any real technology to make a glider. So who knows that wasn't just a glider? You know,
Yeah.
a kid's toy. I mean, I wouldn't believe it if I ever saw a set of snow skis or a a snowboard, you know, hidden inside a pyramid. Well, I tell you what, the synapses.
That was good. Yeah,
the
that was a
synapses
rectangle. This is a pyramid. Yeah.
Hey,
They're not snapping today, they're cracking.
I finally stole the camera back. I only had to press it 3 times, everybody, to know what I
It wants
do.
to look at you less and less, John.
And then there's, of course, a senior challenge to see if I can remember what the heck I was going to say.
That's why the buttons are different colors.
How do the different color buttons help him remember what to say?
You're right, I forgot he's colorblind, so that wouldn't help at all.
You know, okay, and here's back to
Yeah.
You lost your train of thought.
You know,
train?
that's why I call him YB. YB John. Okay, we'll get back on track. Not.
Yeah, really.
Where was that really funny one? We saw.
You can tell, folks,
Reno,
it's an amateur
Nevada.
show. We're looking up what we're going to
A
do.
nationwide survey by Apartment List, which measures renter satisfaction annually. You got to be careful how you say that word. With one less letter, and it's something else entirely. It says Reno is number 10 in the nation for job satisfaction. Tech job-heavy Madison, Wisconsin was first. Well, you know, the first thing that pops in my head is Reno, Nevada is so boring that they talk about the fact they're number 10 on an apartment satisfaction list. Isn't there anything else going on there?
Well, a few things, yeah.
Well, yeah.
They
so,
have gambling. They have people coming in doing shows. They have one of the biggest car shows in the world there.
Yeah, they do. They do. They even have a heating, cooling, air conditioning, refrigeration show.
Oh, but
There
they're
you
number
go.
10 on the apartment list. What?
Well, that's the people who live there, you know?
Pay a publicist. Even, hire him part-time. My gosh. Marlboro, New Hampshire. I like this one. Police pulled over a Sullivan woman. I don't know why they must have known her to know her name was Sullivan. They pulled this woman over on April Fool's Day when they saw she was using her cell phone. Then they realized she was driving without a valid license. Well, that's kind of strike 2. But you know what strike 3 was? And she was driving with a baby goat in her lap.
Oh, my.
Now, ordinarily, if you are on a cell phone, which is they've definitely distracted driving, trust me, I see too many people doing it, you don't have a valid license, and then you have a baby goat in your lap, generally, they don't let you go. This driver was given a ticket and released.
Well,
Only in New Hampshire.
Oh, was it one of those,
I don't know what kind of goat.
Sympathy. Well, they have the
I know
the
what
people
it
who
was.
go on the airplane with they got to have their animal. What is it called?
Service animal.
Service. That's not a service animal. Service animal is like somebody who needs a German Shepherd because they're blind.
Yeah.
That's a service animal. They're bringing these people in for my goose makes me relax when I'm on a flight. So I got to bring my goose on. on the
Therapy
flight.
animal.
Therapy
They're
animal.
called
Yeah,
therapy animal.
Therapy. That's where I'm. Must have been her therapy.
well,
goat.
I just wonder if the goat was nursing while she was driving.
That'd be really
don't
distracting.
Go there. Don't go there. I still go back to the fact that last year there was a big to-do over a woman that brought a peacock on an airplane as her
Right.
therapy animal. Well, since then, most of the airlines have said you can only have a dog or cat, and that's it. I mean, like in the old Muppets, Gonzo, all the chickens were his therapy animals.
Yep. Among other things, but anyway, we won't go there.
You mean it wasn't just the chickens? He had other therapy objects?
Well,
Yes.
we really should.
I'll go that way.
We should get a bear to come in here with its service human. We should get the Big Bear beer to come in here.
Well, my
You know,
buddy, my
there
buddy
you go.
Bruce, the gender-confused bear, we'll have him here one week.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I think he'll have some insight on it. And after all, you can't argue with him, because if you do, his claws will take your head off.
Well, actually, when you think about that, that's the best way to get around these rules. Be the service human. I bought a seat for my peacock, and I'm the service human. There you go. That works.
Well, wait a minute, though. A lot of times they put the service animal in the cargo bay,
That's true.
and it's pretty cold down there.
Ooh.
You say that like it's a good thing, John.
Well, a nut who's worked in refrigeration for decades, like in the middle of summer, it'd be July 12th, and it's 95 degrees outside, and then they'd tell me, hey, you got a walk-in freezer that's warm. And I'd just go, ooh, and I'd go on down and go and work. See, a warm walk-in freezer can be 20 degrees, and that's still nice. And I still had winter clothes on in my truck, I was all good for that stuff.
Once again, that explains so much about your mental state.
Yeah, I froze my brain one too many times,
I think so. God. Oh, well. How are we doing time-wise, John?
We've got 2.5 minutes left of another 30 minutes that you've totally wasted.
Yeah.
30 minutes of silliness. I don't know about you, but we had a pretty good time.
2.5 minutes here. What can you do in 2.5 minutes?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll go
Well,
back to
you
the
can-
Muppets. I like the Muppets.
No,
Hey, we didn't get a chicken award.
oh, that's right. And I didn't know who to give it to this week.
I have no idea. It's been a pretty rough week.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going. How about we award it to the every other state in the union would be the DMV, but here in Michigan it's SOS, Secretary of State.
Straight?
Yeah. Boy, that's the problem with being that way. Secretary of State, which has this wonderful habit of no matter what they do, the lines get longer and slower.
Yeah. Don't you know it?
So this is for you. Give me a camera there, John.
Camera for the...
This is for you, all you people, not the workers, because they work their tail off. I'm talking about all the people that are running things at the Secretary of State from the top right on down that can't seem to figure out how to make it a little bit more efficient. I mean, come on. So this is for you.
Only one crack?
Chicken man.
Yeah, they don't deserve any more than that. So
Okay. Well, we still have a minute left over. And of course,
don't forget the credits. So of course, what? Quick.
Be sure to turn on when we get Bruce the Bear on, and we'll have him and the hunter who decided to not kill him because the bear had beer. Okay.
Exactly.
The bear had beer. There you go.
Yeah, and
The bear
the
had
hunter
beer.
the hunter ran out of the hunter ran out of beer, and the beer bear showed up with extra beer.
Yeah. So remember, you can only shoot a bear once, but you can get beer for him multiple times.
There you
And
go.
Welcome to our show, and goodbye.